Hey, it's LpsHoney. Let's make a Littlest Pet Shop dinosaur. So some of you may remember this short that I posted ages ago showing an LPS dinosaur that I was working on. I was super excited about this project, but truth be told, I was not as confident as I am now with my LPS painting skills. I'm still not the best, but I've definitely improved a lot, especially with small details and eyes. And ever since I made my LPS baby calf custom, I've definitely been a lot more confident in my ability to actually paint this dinosaur. So truth be told, this custom's been in the works for months, but I didn't want to just like half butt it and not be able to paint it well and have this really cool base but let it go to waste because I didn't know what I was doing. But the time's finally come. Today we are going to be creating my LPS dinosaur and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. Some quick little info about this custom. I'm mainly going to be walking you guys through the painting process because the base has already been made, but I do want to share with you what LPS I used for that base, and that is an LPS bull and a fairy. Not this specific bull, but just a LPS bull. The bull specifically was used for the body just as a base for me to sculpt a lot of the other pieces onto, and the fairy I used its head and neck joint. The last time you guys saw my dinosaur custom, it looked like this. It was just a blank white base ready to go. And truth be told, not a lot has changed. It's kind of just roughly green right now. It's not even a full proper coat, but I wanted to get a rough idea of what color I wanted to use, and then we can continue painting it together. I'm sure you guys can tell the paint is a little patchy right now, and that's because I do need to do more coats, and I'm going to take you guys along with me to do that, but I wanted to show you what we're starting with in this video. So I think it's pretty clear to see the fairy's head was used here, but I want to quickly talk about the body before we get into painting. If you don't want to hear about the sculpting process, you can skip to this time here to go straight to the painting of this pet, but I'd love to share some little info with you about the sculpting I did. So like I said, the base for the body was an LPS bull, however, quite a lot of it was molded on by me. I molded on the tail, the feet, and the back arch of the body. This was done all with an epoxy clay, so a two-part mixture that hardens over time. I did end up sanding it down as well to make it a bit smoother because it of course didn't turn out perfect on the first go, but I am really proud of how it turned out overall. If you compare the bodies directly, you can definitely tell that I've changed a lot, and you may not even be able to recognize that it's a bull body because it's been elongated and changed and cut up so much, but that was the kind of idea I had, and I'm really proud of it. I've been wanting to paint this pet for months, and I am so excited to finally do it with you guys. So please make sure to like the video, and I hope you will enjoy seeing this pet come to life. Hey, welcome to the painting part of today's video. Now, I'm not going to go and yap over the whole painting part because I've actually been getting some comments recently saying that I talk too much. So my bad, I'm sorry, I will shut up, but I do want to explain some key points now and again of what I'm doing when I'm painting this custom. But other than that, I hope the video speaks for itself. But right now, the clips you're watching were actually recorded before the intro because, as you can see, the dinosaur only has the white coat on it. It was unpainted. So I'm just going in now and doing the base coat. I used a mixture of green and teal to get this color, and it took a couple coats, no more than usual, but I really wanted to make sure you couldn't see any of these streaky lines with the final color. After building our base color up, it was time to go in with our first highlighting color, and that was this yellowish green, almost like a limey green color. This particular color's base was yellow, so painting it on top of a darker green was a bit of a challenge because yellow traditionally is not very opaque and takes a lot of coats to build up so you can see it and it doesn't look patchy. And so doing the frills on this custom did take me a little while, but in the end, I'm very pleased with how it turned out. For the gradient on this pet, I used a similar yellowish green mixed with a bit of the teal color for the gradient on the face and body. This was my first time doing gradient with actual paint in a while, but I am very pleased with how it turned out. I used a makeup sponge to do this gradient. I've gotten this question before, so I'm letting you know here. For my gradient paint, I use makeup sponges. I just rip a little piece of the sponge out and go to work, and it is amazing. I don't know what it is about makeup sponges, but the way they do gradient paint is just the best. Throughout this video, you'll see me go back and forth painting different parts here and there. So for example, right now I'm just painting some of the eye white, and then I'll move on to the feet, and then I'll move back to the eyes, and then I'll paint some other little details. I kind of move around a lot when I'm painting because I feel like instead of waiting for the eyes to dry just for me to do another coat, I could be painting a different part, like the feet, and saving myself some time. It may not be the most conventional way to paint LPS, because I know a lot of people fully paint the base before even going anywhere near the eyes, which is completely understandable, but this is just the way I do it. While you guys are watching me use my little dotting tool here, which is a tool I highly recommend for anyone who wants to do LPS customs, and also doing the gradient on the chest, I just want to make a few little mentions about this pet. First of all, I haven't mentioned it yet, but this pet is inspired by the Brachiosaurus. It's not 100% accurate, but that was the inspiration for this dinosaur. I also want to mention that the head does not bobble, unfortunately. I was originally trying to make this pet with a movable head, but there were a bit of issues when it came to doing that, and in the end I had to make the head stagnant. But I just wanted to mention it if anyone was curious why I'm not moving the head around. It's because it is glued in place. So when it comes to the eyes, I had an idea of what I wanted to do, and I actually fully painted the eyes. You can see me doing it now with the dotting tool and everything. And originally I was happy with how they looked, and I was like, yep, eyes are done. And then I came back the next day and I was like, you know what? No, I'm making this smoother and better. So you can see me doing some touch-ups now with the gradient effect. And I also repainted some of the black and eye shines. And I also did just some touch-ups around the body in general, making the gradient transition a little better. And just, I don't know, overall cleaning up the lines because I really wanted this pet to look clean. I also, of course, added my initial. And then the last thing that was left to do was glaze the eyes. I personally use gloss Mod Podge. I know it's not the most professional product, but for us girlies on a budget, if you water gloss Mod Podge down, it does the job just fine. It is great, and I do recommend it, especially if you're somebody who can't afford or can't access the higher varnishes out there. I also highly recommend using a toothpick to get any air bubbles out of the gloss. Just helps it just overall have a smoother coat. And after our eyes, he was done. The last thing I did was set him down to dry, and then he was finished. Hello everyone! It is a couple days since I first started my dinosaur custom, and he's finally fully complete. Everything's dried, the eyes are glazed, and I am so happy with him. I hope the time-lapse painting journey was enjoyable to watch and hear me yap about the whole process of making this pet. But it is now time to see the finished result in all his glory. So without further ado, I present to you, the LPS community, my custom dinosaur Littlest pet shop. Here he is. I am so happy with him. I love how he turned out, and I hope you guys do as well. I have been wanting to paint this custom for ages now, and I feel like I did him justice. You know, he's not perfect. None of my customs are. Let's be real here. But this was a big step for me, especially modeling wise, and I was really nervous. I wanted to make him look good and clean and as much like a G2 version of a dinosaur that I could, and I think I was able to do that. Obviously you guys let me know whether or not you think he looks like a G2 dinosaur, because that was really what I was going for at the end of the day, and I'm happy with how he turned out. I don't want to like kiss my own butt, but I'm really proud of myself for being able to make this dinosaur. I think this is one of the coolest, most unique looking pets I've done, just kind of concept wise, you know, turning a bull and a fairy into a whole dinosaur, and I'm really loving how the eyes turned out. I truthfully wasn't sure how I wanted them to look originally when I started this pet, but I think the kind of blue to purple gradient that I ended up with really turned out cool. This was also the first time I've ever done these kind of flower eye shines before. I've seen so many other customizers do them, and I wanted to give it a try myself. And you know, it did need a little cleaning up here and there, which is to be expected, but overall the end result I am happy with. I really like how it looks, and it kind of adds to this whole green theme, because they could almost be like little clovers in his eyes. But please, like I said, let me know what you think, and would you like to see me make some more Dinosaur LPS? I know I have been teasing this one for months at this point, but I would love to make some more now that this guy has been made, and he did turn out okay in my opinion. This is of course, like I mentioned when I was painting, my kind of twist on a Brachiosaurus. It's not 100% accurate, mainly because of the frills along the top instead of just having the one bump. But I still do really love how he looks, and like I said, it's my kind of twist on it, so it's not 100% like accurate to an actual Brachiosaurus. I just love posing him this way, kind of looking off slightly to the side so you can see the body, but also all of the details on the front. It's just my favorite. I'm also going to admit it right here, right now, I haven't done gradient work with paint like this in a minute. I definitely did some in the past with other customs, but I haven't really done it in months. So I was really nervous about how this light to dark green would turn out, and I think it turned out okay. I think maybe I would have preferred if the chest was a little smoother transition, but overall I am happy with it. You know, usually when I do gradient, recently at least, I've been using chalk pastels, so it was definitely a learning curve again getting back into gradient paint, but I am happy with it overall. Like, it definitely could be worse. It's not harsh, but I do wish I had done a little better, but maybe that's just me being self-critical like always. But there he is, and the journey we took to make him. Of course, name suggestions are always welcome. I don't have a name for this little guy, so I would love any if you want to leave them in the comments down below. I really hope you enjoyed seeing the process of painting this little guy. I love him with all my heart. I can't wait to yap about him in the comments with you guys, and I just hope that you enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you did, please let me know if you want to see more customs, more dinosaur customs, anything like that. And please do not forget to like, comment, and of course subscribe. And me and my dinosaur custom here hope you have an amazing day. And until next time, bye guys!